probably the biggest game of the weekend. Chelsea-Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Very good game. Chelsea scored first. It's Chalobah, good header in the second half, and then Marina equalised shortly after. A lot of drama on either side of half time. But yeah, I think for a Chelsea perspective, it was a very good result. Obviously, I panicked a lot as soon as Caicedo got sent off. It was I thought at half time, Maresca should have went defensively minded, brought on like another defender or another defensive midfielder. But no, he went for it. He brought on Garnacho and made it go of the game, which was surprising because it reminded me of when we went down to 10 men against Man United. He brought off nearly all of our attackers at Old Trafford, and we lost the game. But no, it was a very good performance from Chelsea with 10 men, and I have no complaints. I thought after half time we were probably going to lose like 3-1, 4-1, but it was the complete opposite, and we would probably be the better team. But yeah, Ty, how did you react to the game?
Disappointing, especially after you got the red card. After you got the red card, I thought, okay, we're going to go for it now. Yeah, it should be a piece of cake after the performance we've had the last two games. I mean, beating Chelsea would have put the icing on the cake, but we conceded a corner, which is weird because we usually score from corners. So conceding the corner, it was poor defending. I thought the defense overall wasn't great. Mosquera disappointing. Don't know why Arteta hooked Calafiori at half time when Sketty came on and got yellow straight away. So I thought, yeah, I mean, Marino, great header, good stuff. That's what he does. Always pops up with a header, doesn't he? But from there, we got to be winning. Once the equaliser goes in, we got to go for it. I don't know why we didn't go for it. Gabby Jesus is sat on the bench. Ranieri sat on the bench. Bauman sat on the bench. Get everyone on and go for it, because a draw doesn't mean anything. If we win that game, I think that's it. League's done. I genuinely think league's done if we win that game.
Yeah, I mean, because I think one player that really had a really good game and has probably been under fire the whole season is Robert Sanchez. He played really well.
He did play well, actually. He did play really well, yeah. Made a couple of good saves, to be fair.
Yeah, very good saves. I think there was one, the Martinelli save, which was very good. Yeah. And then right at the very end,
at the end,
Saka.
Yeah, where Gyökeres went straight into him on the rebound. I thought, bro, when that happened, I thought Gyökeres was going to get sent off it. I thought,
no.
But it didn't look that bad.
No, I mean, to be honest, Gyökeres had every right to go for the ball. But he did essentially nearly knock out Robert Sanchez.
Nah, he was nowhere near his face. Robert Sanchez just...
Well, but no, Tom, obviously you don't like talking about Arsenal, but do you think them dropping points against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge has put a dent in their title hopes?
I mean, Liverpool and City, they're not on it this season as much as you'd like them to be, and as much as I would love them to be at this rate. They won City, but they were 2-0 up against Leeds and nearly dropped the points until the 91st minute that Foden managed to pick something up. And they keep doing that this season. I don't know. I mean, all you got to think about as well, it's a draw at Stamford Bridge. It's not a draw at Emirates. It's a draw at Stamford Bridge. That's not, I mean, especially if you're going for a title, it's not the worst place to drop points. I know you need to try and win every game, I guess they messed it up a little bit because they didn't take the 3 points after they went down to 10 men, Chelsea, especially as Chelsea went attacking as well. I thought Arsenal would have, and as you said, Ty, as soon as you went 1-1, I thought that's where you take the game. The momentum's up. Chelsea, you're 10 men, you went 1-0 up, it's all up there, and you just drains like that. All that momentum just goes because you think. But in the end, yes and a no. Yes, because Arsenal have to keep winning games because we all know City, they might not be at their best, but they will just win 20 games straight somehow. They'll just Pep find a way.
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah, you might. I mean, it's just, it always seems the Pep way to me. Just even there's seasons. I mean, there was a season when you guys should have won it. I would have thought a few seasons back when you had like a 9-point gap, something like that. And City weren't even at their best then. And then they suddenly just went on a 20-game win streak. And then yet again this season, they're just, I don't know how, but I predicted might be a biased opinion, but I predicted from the beginning City would win the league. Trent at right back, who's an unbelievable right back. Salah was the best player in the world last season. Probably went over, as good as he is, he probably overachieved, even for, we all know Salah, the record he got was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably had, don't get me wrong, he made certain players good, like the likes of Gravenberch, just from Klopp to Slot, different players, different level players, but he possibly had some of the best players in each position in the world when he took over that squad. Yeah, he might have made them better in a way, and that's credit to him. But he also did have some of the best players in the world in each position, and now he's building a new squad. And yeah, you've got to still give him a chance. He still won a league, fair play to him. But we credit. There's other managers out there that have won leagues and won Champions Leagues, but we don't credit as high because they're good squads. Like Zinedine Zidane. I mean, no one puts him on top of the radar, but he's won Champions League.
Of course he is. Zidane's top of the radar manager.
I don't think it. You say that, but you'll see a lot of people say they'd take this manager over him because.
Oh no! Everyone would take Zidane. Zidane doesn't want to.
Months ago,
Zidane doesn't want to manage a club. He wants that France job. If he was available tomorrow, most teams in Europe would go for him if they sacked their manager.
I always thought Man United should go for him at some point.
So did I, but they never did.
United could do with a Zizou.
But I think, go back to Liverpool though, I think he took over a Liverpool squad, and realistically, we had a better squad at the time. We should have won the league, or City should have won the league. And Chelsea and Liverpool, similar sort of squads. So it was the third or fourth best squad in the league, I think, when Slot came in.
What?
I don't know. I think they had the best.
I think we had a better squad.
It was great, but you can't underestimate the manager. But I think the biggest problem, I'm going to come on to it when we talk about Liverpool West Ham. It feels like he's trying a bit too much to try and fit everyone in at the same time, especially when you watch us going forward. He's trying to get Salah to do things he's never done in his career at Liverpool before, to try and flow with Ekitike or Isak, and you can see it's not working. Salah doesn't really know what he's doing half the time this season. I think that's why Isak struggled a bit fitting in. I think it's because Isak was always the focal point, Newcastle. He was the one getting the ball constantly. He's the one, working, getting the goals. But now he's got to work around Salah, and then he's got to work around Gakpo as well. It's just the dynamics this season, especially going forward, have been a bit off. I think that's the main reason why we haven't succeeded as we have done.
I think Trent is. I never rated Trent, but I've realised I think him and Salah had a good partnership. There's just balls over the top for Salah to run onto. It's just those balls he used to play on a counter attack, just straight over Salah run onto. You don't really have that anymore, and it takes Salah out of his game a little bit. And as you said, I think he's playing Salah less as a goal scorer now. That's your biggest problem. He's playing Salah more as like a playmaker than a goal scorer.
And then he's always going to be prolific when he's that goal scorer. When he's main focal point, he will put up ridiculous numbers, and we've seen that. He had just under 50 goals and assists last season, which is ridiculous for anyone. It's ridiculous.
And you don't just he might be getting older, but you don't just drop off like that.
No, this is what I mean. A lot of Liverpool fans are saying, the age is catching up to him now. It's not age. Salah's one of those.
I think he's finished.
The top tier players.
Salah's finished.
I've seen it. I saw it with Son. People say, one season he was there, the next season he weren't. But even that following season, he got 10 goals, 10 assists.
Son was finished last season, man.
Last season was it, but people were saying 2 seasons ago that was his last season. But it wasn't. Do you get what I mean? Just because he had one bad season. Then he came in the following season with Ange, had an incredible season. Then the second season, Ange, that's when you could see it got to him a little bit. It was going up and down. Salah, it's not one season ain't going to kill him off. He might leave, don't get me wrong.
I think he is finished this season.
Hold on. Before, did you say Salah was finished?
Salah's finished this season. He is. He is.
As a player, he's not player. As a player.
This will be his last. This will be his last
Premier League season.
It's his last Premier League season. After this, he's not gonna. He's gonna go off to Saudi, and as he should, because there's no point in ruining your legacy by playing another season and then falling off a cliff. Because he's been average this season, but next season he might fall even deeper. So you don't want to.
He's below average. He's not.
I half agree with Ty.
He's below. Average is probably polite. Yeah, he's below average, isn't he?
I half agree with Ty. Yes, I think it's his last season, but I don't think he's finished. I just think he's going to go to Saudi or somewhere like that to make some money and enjoy his football while he's still got some ability left and play a few seasons out there. but I don't think he's finished. I think
But
finish is the wrong term.
this is why Slot's having a problem this year. He doesn't know what to do up front. He's trying. You know, Liverpool. We're trying to get Ekitike and Isak in the same team, and with Salah there, that's never going to work. That's an impossibility. So it's at the point now where I think Liverpool really coming towards definitely coming towards the end of this season, they've got to really think about Salah's future within this setup, within Slot, as you know, his tenure as a manager. Is he going to be included, or do you want to play Ekitike and Isak in the same team? You know, cornered ourselves buying 2 strikers for that much money, but you've got to adapt, you know, as a manager, basically.
I think you're
Yeah.
missing one. I think Wirtz is more the problem. And I don't think it's because don't get me wrong, he hasn't had the best start. But Liverpool, when you think of it, for the last decade maybe, haven't really ever played with a 10. Like,
No.
even when you brought Szoboszlai on, he wasn't a 10. He played
He's not.
as an 8.
Szoboszlai's not a 10. He's
McAllister's
Stevie
at the
Gerrard.
end.
You know, he's defending,
Yeah.
attacking. You
This
let him
is the
do what he wants.
first time in like a decade you've played with an actual 10.
I
Because
mean, you
before
could
that, it was
say
Firmino. And Firmino was a 10.
Firmino, you could say was like a 10.
Right,
yeah.
he's
But
a-
he wasn't. He played
forward.
striker and dropped in. Wirtz is actually playing as that 10. He plays
He's
behind the
not.
striker. They haven't
Firmino's-
used that in a very long time, and I don't think Salah can use it. I don't think Salah can play with it.
Caicedo picked Chelsea over Liverpool
Yeah.
3 seasons ago. But Max, what did you think of that tackle? Did you think it was a definite red card, or was it harsh to send him off?
I think we talked about this before the show started. I said it's a red card. I don't think even you, JP, you're agreeing it's a red card. But the problem we're having is we've seen a lot worse, and you know they haven't been given. So it's one of those where it's an obvious red, but you've seen worse. And I think as well, it's a natural thing we're getting used to with VAR. It's taking the natural element out of the game. 10 years ago, that's not a bad challenge. You know, that's a yellow card. You know, that's, you know, you kind of look at it that way. Now you get into the point
Only
where
because
VAR,
it's gone under the radar.
you know, because it's so quick. Yeah, but it's so quick. It happens so quick. You know, JP said he didn't even notice it in time. It happens
But that's
so
when
quick.
VAR's working. That's when VAR's doing its job, though.
Yeah, but it takes the natural element out of the game. Then the whole natural element's finished.
Oh, what? Let's just keep Caicedo on the
because
pitch.
of follow
Clearly gone.
follow-throughs and stuff like that. Follow-throughs and stuff like that. It takes out that element.
Nah. VAR's in the game now, and it did its job there. But I think the side of it we need to look at is the inconsistent side of it. The fact that,
Agreed.
as you said, like there's in the Chelsea Spurs game, it might have been 2 different games, or it might have been last year. I don't even know, but there was a thing. I think it was the last Chelsea Tottenham game that I watched. Enzo Fernandez done a very similar tackle to Caicedo. Wasn't high, wasn't anything. It was just studs up on the ankle, I believe. It didn't do anything, like no damage or anything, but it was exactly same incident. Like that's why people were saying, is this a red or is that a red? Because there's exactly same tackle that gone to VAR and they've said it's not a red. One of probably the biggest game of the weekend, Chelsea Arsenal, probably the biggest game this whole season at the moment because of the run that both of you guys are on. And it was a red, don't get me wrong, but where's the consistency here? Because, you know, as bad as our Tottenham Chelsea game was, that red could have changed it for us at least. It could have helped Spurs have a bit of praise for once to win at home against Chelsea. That could have like changed our season a little bit, maybe given us a bit of hope. Probably not, we're terrible. But you get what I mean. And in the Chelsea Arsenal game, don't get me wrong, it didn't change the result, but it probably affected the game. That would have been a fun game to watch 11v11 for that whole game. But it just, you know, it's gone now, and it's like, well, what's a red, what's not? Because one game, you know, if it was a red in one game, it changes the game. If it's not a red in yesterday's game, it changes the game as well.
Also in that same game, I mean, Maresca brought it up in his press conference. It was actually the Bentancur challenge on Reece James.
Yeah, that was one as well. No, I agree. That should have been a red.
And
Reece James has former of the game, by the way. Former. Fair play to him.
Yeah, he's good. Played in DM as well, didn't he?
He played a bloody good game, Reece James.
Yeah, he was very good. But I mean, Tom is right though. It's the inconsistency because it was the Tottenham Chelsea game, Chelsea Arsenal, and it was also in the Aston Villa game a similar challenge on Kamara, which was only a yellow card as well. And you're starting to think, well, I watched the match today reaction as well, and then to be honest, I mean, because VAR is there, it's a computer, but it's still run by people like us, you know, humans. So it's not completely AI yet. And I say yet because I don't know what the future of football is going to look like. They could potentially in the future get rid of referees completely. And
Yeah, they'll have
Oh, can't do
ChatGPT
that.
refs and
Game's
that.
gone.
They can't do
ChatGPT,
that.
Gemini
That
refs.
just
Gone.
takes the sport away.
Game's gone.
but no, it's weird because I admitted Caicedo did deserve to get sent off. However, then you could go back to Tottenham, Chelsea, you could go back to Aston Villa, or even right at the start of the season, Robert Sanchez on Bruno Fernandes. No, it was Brian Mbeumo in that Old Trafford game when he went flying through, and then he got a straight red card. So it is what it is. But yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely it was more points dropped for Arsenal than it was points lost for Chelsea, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Because
Yeah, definitely.
with Chelsea being down to 10 men, like I said earlier, I was panicking. I thought it was either going to be a 3-1 or 4-1 loss at Stamford Bridge, but no, it was the complete opposite. We created chances, we attacked, and even Delap nearly scored. And he came
If
in.
Delap had scored, I would have gone in second. Oh yeah, big time. Pressure's still on him because if he loses to Sunderland at home midweek, then that's it. The pressure on him again. The fans are on him again. Everyone's calling slot out. So
That was exactly
needs
my
to put
point.
together-
That's all.
Yeah. He needs to put together a winless run of at least a win run of at least 3 games. He needs to win at least the next 3, and then you can start talking about Liverpool are back. No, they're serious. I mean, a manager that's under even more pressure than him. Yeah, Frankie Boy, glorified Sean Dyche,
Great tactician, as me and Reese.
glorified Sean. Yeah, great better tactician. JP, better tactician than Arteta. Better. I didn't
For
know
one
five
game. Because
I
I
didn't know
thought
that
Spurs would
5
get a
back
result, but they were
and
honking.
long ball
They honked the gaff.
was tactics. But
No, I mean, I said that on purpose just to get a reaction from
yeah,
the
rage bait.
No, but no, what was it? Sticking to the West Ham Liverpool game for now. We'll talk about Tottenham after. But Tom, I mean, talking about the other side now because Liverpool finally got a win, but West Ham they lost. It's not looking good for West Ham, really. I mean, they did get into a bit of a good form up until the Liverpool game, but they're still down there. They're still nearabouts the relegation spots. Do you think they should be worried about their position at the end of the season?
There's a part of me that just West Ham won't get relegated. They always, over all the years, I know they've been relegated once. I don't actually know. I know definitely once, but they just have players in that team that they're not bad enough to get relegated. Do you get what I mean?
It was like
you've got the right.
It was like Everton a few seasons ago. You knew they were never.
Yeah, like
down.
they.
But it's a bit
Something
like
about West
Leicester,
Ham.
though.
They will.
It's
They
like
will
Leicester.
just sneak. They will just sneak wins in.
Speaking of Lucas Paqueta, huge talking point in that game as well. His red card, which was very, very avoidable, in that game. I mean, it was 2 red cards for dissent. So he first complained because he didn't win when he went into a challenge with Szoboszlai, I
Yeah.
think. At the
Yeah, I
time.
think it was. Yeah.
And he thought it was going to be given West Ham's way, but the referee gave it as a foul to Liverpool. So he obviously naturally complained about it, and then he got booked. But then at that point, he should have just walked away. But he kept on going towards the referee, demanding answers. Kept on saying, "You that." Probably some very bad language in Brazilian, which probably the ref probably could have. He basically talked himself into another red card now. Ty, do you think West Ham need to take this seriously? Because I know he's not the club captain. I mean, Bowen's the captain, but do you think he should be dropped for a few games just to? Because a similar thing happened with with Chelsea with Liam Delap when he came on against Wolves, and he came on really angry, and then he got sent off straight away. But now Paqueta, he's obviously not tackled anyone, but instead he's basically talked himself into a red card, and now West Ham are going to be without him for the next couple of games. Do you think West Ham should, or say West Ham, Nuno should drop him for the next couple of games after this suspension?
I mean, it's a weird one because with the Delap one, it's like, okay, he's come on, he's angry, drop him for a few games because you can afford to drop him because it's only Delap. When it comes to a player like Paqueta, and he's a crucial player for West Ham, and he's still got a lot to give. I still rate him. I think he's a decent player. And would you drop him for a few games afterwards when you're in a relegation battle? Probably not. You probably give him a talking to. You tell him if he does it again, then you dropped. But once he comes back from suspension, then he probably goes straight back.
If West Ham stay up, I think they should cash in on him. I honestly think they cash in on him.
I think
he's got a long contract. He'd still have a year left on his contract. We're talking about a player who's got. I've just had a look. He's got 61 caps for Brazil. This is a serious quality player. And I think West Ham could get a good bit of money for him. And let's be honest, he's not great on the pitch sometimes. He's caused problems before, with his bet, the whole betting thing. And then he's very prone to the booking for dissent. And we saw at the weekend, getting sent off stupidly. I think West Ham should cash in on him personally. But I know we're backtracking a bit, but I think this is an missed opportunity for West Ham as well in this game as well. If I'm being honest, playing against a Liverpool team, we were good, but we weren't great. Again, especially rest in peace, Billy Bonds, club legend. That's got to fire you up. That's got to fire you up inside. Let's do this for Billy. We're playing against a weakened Liverpool team, and they just didn't turn up.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because it gives you a bit of confidence. You're near the bottom, and you even if you draw against Liverpool, like just for West Ham fans to go,
that would have been
Liverpool.
even more pressure on
they
the
are
bar,
in
even more
season.
pressure.
You just know in your head they're Liverpool. They've got the Salahs, they've got the Van Dijks, and we drew against them. That they just give you a bit of confidence. But now they're back to square one again, I guess, which is they're not going to get relegated. But I don't think West Ham fans can enjoy the rest of the season really.
Over in less than 15 minutes at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Tottenham against Fulham. 2-1. I watched the full 90 minutes of this match and I was stunned. Obviously, I wasn't really supporting anyone because it's two London teams, but I was just as a neutral. And
oh, don't you lie! You loved it. You loved it. Don't even lie.
Come on.
You loved it.
Come on.
It's the history.
But,
It's the history of the Tottenham, my friend.
What I will say, the first goal, fair play. It was a very good counter attack from Fulham. They scored against most of the top teams.
It's a goal that we keep conceding these on the edge of the box shots that deflect in. It's like it gets to a point where is it just unlucky that we're getting deflected shots, or why aren't we picking this up? We conceded like I to be honest, I stopped watching the Arsenal game when you went 3-1 up. I actually had to go do something. That wasn't like an actual I'd bottle job and I had to leave. I actually had to go do something.
That's what they all say. I
don't know what Eze's fourth goal was. Was it on the edge of the box again, or was it?
Was it on the edge of the box? Was it just inside the box? I think it was just inside.
Yeah.
Was it same sort of thing, centre and then shot first time?
Just inside, and he hasn't shot first time. He's taken the touch and he's curved it.
No one marking him.
No, obviously not. It's Spurs.
3 goals. So exactly. So you've had 3 goals there. No one marking edge of the box or around that area. Same again against Fulham. I know it got a bit. It was lucky how it fell to the player, but still, no one there. No one there to guard that shot or just be there. It's just, I don't know. I think our first problem is we don't know our best team, or Frank doesn't know his best team because we have changed. I know you have to rotate because we're in the Champions League. Not that we should really be concentrating on that. We might be able to qualify through the top 16 or whatever, but but we still got to. I think still got a contract in the Premier League. At least get like a top 7 at least. I know. Look, what a lot of Spurs fans expect, right? We brought in a Xavi Simons. We brought in like some players, and although that 17th was a weird season, we still finished 17th. We still finished 17th to season 4. So I don't know why there's Spurs fans out there at all that think we're going to finish top 4. You know, it doesn't matter who we have in our squad. I know we had loads of injuries last season. And don't get me wrong, Van der Ven and Romero together at the back are a great partnership. But it still doesn't change that we finished 17th last season. And with or without them, you know, that's still more or less the same midfield, same attack. There's just certain players. I mean, the only thing I say that we're missing, and it's not an excuse because we should be able to perform with the players we have. We've got no excuse. But we are missing critical attacking players. The likes of Kulusevski, who was our best player last season, Maddison and Solanke. 3 key players, I would say, in that Tottenham front 3 that would probably help us score a few more goals or create a few more chances. I think a Xavi Simons is in a Wirtz environment right now. They both just are good players. You can see Simons' ability sometimes. You can see him when he's on the ball, when he's dribbling, when he's moving. But there was a few games I watched, and Match of the Day broke it down really well, but I saw it when I was watching it live. He picks up this is why I don't think Simons has been starting either. It's because he picks up the ball in that 10 and he looks forward and there's no one there because we played this 2 of Bentancur and Paulinho behind him. The fullbacks, you know, it's not like Ange's formation where the fullbacks pushed into midfield so they got forward passes. So he's looking up. There's no one to the left, no one to the right. Richarlison is useless. God knows why we start him. That guy just sticks in because he can score 1 goal every 5 games.
He's a better player than Xavi Simons, though, to be fair.
Who, Richarlison?
I mean, Xavi Simons, yeah. Xavi Simons, I saw someone say the other day, Xavi Simons should have the Xavi removed from his name. And he should. He should just be Simons, mate.
I think we're being harsh, right? It's like, you know, if we're still being harsh, and don't get me wrong, he doesn't even get a run of games. His first few games for Spurs, he got taken off in the 60th minute, and that wasn't even because he was bad. He got taken off at one point. Then he had taken off twice because there was 2 straight red cards that we got. And then he finally got some starting. There was a game that he played 90 minutes on, which was, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean anything because they weren't a great team, but we played Copenhagen and Simons had a great game. Very next game, doesn't start. It doesn't make any sense. You just had a guy that we need to, you know, he's the one we need to be creating things, and then you don't start him the next game. And then you drop him out of big games. Like the game against Arsenal, I looked at a formation and went, we've lost because we're playing one of the best defences in probably the world, you know, that can also attack. I don't get what 5 at the back counter-attack is going to do to him. If you can't break them down, you know, normally, how are you going to break them down on a counter-attack? They don't get counter-attack. I've never seen a game where Arsenal have been counter-attacked. It doesn't happen because they play these, you know, they've got these great defensive-minded midfielders and centre-backs that are just amazing. So I watched that game and, you know, even when Simons came on in that game, we looked a bit better. Maybe Arsenal dropped a gear, but we looked a little bit better. You know, Arsenal was 6 years ahead of us in this rebuild. And I would say we are in a rebuild. You know, the minute we lost Kane and Son, it's a rebuild. We've lost 2 legendary players that scored hundreds of goals, broke multiple careers for records for us. And we're at stage 1 again. And, you know, we need a striker. I think Kolo Muani, we've seen glimpses. He can score a goal. You know, he's better than Richarlison, miles better. But is he the finishing arc we need? No.
Disagree again. You lot hate Richarlison too much, man. You lot hate Richarlison too much.
I've watched Richarlison long enough.
Decent player.
I've watched him for 4. How long has he been at Spurs now? For 4 seasons, 60 million?
Richarlison provides more. I'd rather have Richarlison on the bench than Gabby Jesus. Gabby Jesus is finished.
Yeah, maybe. But do you want Richarlison in your starting 11?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
But I like my bench though.
But okay, Richarlison scored, I think, maybe 3-4 goals this season. One's an overhead kick, one's from the halfway line. He's missed. I mean, if you've watched the Match of the Day highlights, you've watched so many games that he's missed literally tap-ins, headers. You know, there was a game against Villa where he missed about 3 tap-ins in a row. You need a striker that can score that. Okay, you say, going back to it, you said earlier in the session Frank was under pressure. He probably is because Spurs fans are getting stressed. Spurs fans should calm down, first of all, because we had this exactly same thing with Ange and he won us a trophy. Don't get me wrong, it was still terrible to finish 17th, but he still won us a trophy at the end of the day. Where is it going to get us by sacking Thomas Frank? He hasn't even had a full season in the club. He hasn't even had a full squad because he's still missing the likes of his probably number 1 striker Maddison, Kulusevski. You know, he's got these 3 players that are missing. He will go into January. He apparently wants Ivan Toney. If we got him, I don't know what he's been like in Saudi, but we all know Ivan Toney's a good striker and he's clinical enough to score goals and penalties.
He is a bagsman.
We need a left winger. We don't actually have a left winger. We can't rely on Odegaard. You know, he can have his glimpses, but he's still, 20 years old? And he's not, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but he's no like wonder kid. He's not a Saka coming through the ranks. And I love Saka, I'm going to be real. He's an exceptional player, but how rare is it you get a Saka that just comes in at 20 years old and
falls
does
on the
what he
floor
does?
and
It doesn't happen often. You know? Yeah, like it just doesn't happen. So we need, we're consistently, I think against Fulham, we played Richarlison at left wing. Like, he doesn't know his best team. Kudus is on the right. That's done. Maybe on the left when Kulusevski comes back, but that's it. That should, as soon as Kulu's back, it should be Kulu on the right, Kudus on the left, and then probably Solanke up top. That should be our front 3, or Kolo. You know, that should never change. Then the only glimpses, I would say, currently right now, the only praise you can have for Spurs is Burval and Archie Gray. They're the only 2 that have showed. Burval, I think,
Burval's all right.
He is a good player. He is good. He showed it against. He showed it when we lost to PSG. And don't get me wrong, we might have lost. What was it, 5-3?
5-3.
But it's still PSG. They're Champions League holders. They literally won a treble the season before. You know, we've played 2 games against them this season. One in the Super Cup final, and now, and we gave them a game in both of them. We scored goals past them, and Burval was the key at that. Against Fulham, I don't know what happened in the first half. Just mistake after mistake. That is what our season's been. Vicario, God knows. Don't get me wrong. Wilson, great finish, by the way. It might be an open goal, but he's still got a lot to do from that angle and that shot, first time shot, great finish. But just kick it out. Why? And I don't think it's even Vicario at this rate. I think it's most players in the league. They don't want to kick the ball out anymore. They want to keep it in play, and I don't get why they want to. Just hoof it to Rose Edge. You might smack a fan in the face, break their nose. Who cares? They would enjoy that more and be in pain more than watch you kick it to them and score an open goal. And it's the way that he was jogging back. That's what annoyed me. No panic to, he's got an open net. No panic to get back. Just jogging, watching the ball. Why are you watching the ball? Run back. Let your outfield players try and get the ball, stop the shot. And you sprint back and you look up last minute. If you can't get to that ball, then you've messed up. Don't just jog back and then watch it go in back in the net. Like, where's the desire? He's supposed to be one of the leaders, one of the older players in the club. Where's the desire to get back? It's hard watch at the moment. We're a bit, we've still got a lot of rebuilding to do. But I think Burval and Gray should be in that starting 11. I think they're players that, even though they're young, they show the best at the moment. They're showing what it means to play for Spurs. They're youngsters that want to play for that badge, not just sit there and mope about. And that's why I'm happy for them to start.
Yeah, all these Spurs fans calling for Frank to be gone. It's time. No, it's time for Spurs to be realistic about where they are as a club.